A lot of you are going through an unwanted divorce. Just remember, this is not the end of your story. You deserve a happy life. You're a good person. You're a loving person. You're a kind person. You just ran into somebody that didn't know how to handle your loving, kind, giving spirit. And they decided to part ways. But you deserve it. You're a good person. You're a kind person. And this nasty, terrible divorce, the pain that you're going through, that's not the end of your story. In fact, it's the beginning of your story. It's the beginning of a new story. You got an old story. But this is a new story. You're going to thrive. You're going to be happy. You're going to make new memories. And I know right now it don't feel like it. Right now it hurts. You're angry. You're upset. You're confused. We've all been there. We have all been there. You know, and I hear this so many times. And to a guy, this means a lot. You got to understand, go back to when we were first made. But I hear so many guys say, and I was one of them, I would have given my life for my ex. I would have given my life. At one time, I myself made the statement that if some medical mystery, my wife needed a heart, I would have said, take mine. If it meant one of us was going to live and she needed a heart, I would have gladly said, take my heart and give it to my wife. I want her to live. I want her to be happy. That's how much I loved her. And that's how much you loved your wives. There are so many of you, I guarantee you, even now would do it. You'd give up your heart. You'd give up everything you've got just to see her smile. But let it go. Let it go. Start that new chapter. Start the new chapter in life. Move on. Be happy. Smile. Do something goofy. Go to Disney World. Have fun. Call family. Eat something that you've never ate before. Try something you've never tried. Use a different cologne. Different shampoo. Different soap. Wear clothes that you've never worn before. Try a new style. Everything is going to be okay. I promise you. Slowly but surely, my life is gaining traction, and I'm okay, and you will be too. You know, my dad used to say, and at first it got on my nerves, but he's 80 years old, Travis. He is a very wise individual. And he used to say, when this first started, this whole process, my wife packed up and left, and he could see the hurt and the pain in me. And he'd look at me and he'd say, Chris, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. And at first I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. The pain is so real. It'll never stop. It'll never go away. In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. The pain will never go away because you know, you're like me. You had a life plan with this individual. You had memories behind you that were just magical. You had magical memories to make. It was so hard at first for me because I wasn't just Chris. And she wasn't just who she was. We were Chris and. We were a team. The first thing that when I would walk into a room, everybody would say is, hey, where's your bride? Where's your wife? What's she doing? Is she working? How, excuse me, how is she? You know, because we were a team. We were, 24 years together, and I'm sure lots of you are the same way. You know, but Dad would tell me, this too shall pass, and he said it so many times, and at first, like I say, it was aggravating, but then it began to sink in, and it began to sink in, and he's right, this too shall pass, and it's passing. Will God send me somebody else? I don't know. I think there are people that are entering my life now, and I sit around and I question, did God send them, or did they just wander in? I don't know. I tell people after 24 years, and I know a lot of you are going to go through what I'm about to say, but after 24 years to even talk to another woman, it feels like I'm cheating. It feels like I'm being unloyal to my wife. It just feels weird. Because I had a lot of faults. Being disloyal was not one of them, and Lord knows I had the opportunities. I'm retired, she worked. We had plenty of money. There were things to do and places to go, and I could have, but I didn't. I loved her that much. I just couldn't do it. I mean, there's no way. The thoughts of hurting her, the thoughts of hurting my wife were unbearable. I couldn't do it. I could have never done it. Couldn't do it now. And that's why it feels so weird now. Even though we've been separated for 6, almost 7 months, it just feels weird. But it'll pass slowly. Every day it's passing. Every day. I'm beginning to see that there are ladies out there that find me funny and interesting and kind and generous, and they appreciate the fact that I'm old school gentleman Southern, that I open the door and pull out the chair, and that I don't eat until the lady sits down. Not because I think women are weak. In fact, I think women are possibly stronger than men. They're some of the strongest creatures on the earth. It's out of absolute pure respect. That's it. They do so much. They're so powerful. I mean, they grow life in their bellies. Women are amazing. Me walking on the street side so that if a car jumped the curb, it would hit me, or opening the door, or if there's $1 spending it on my wife instead of myself. That's out of love and kindness and respect. It's definitely not out of because I think they're weak. No, never mistake that. I think people that know me know that I never would think that my wife was weak. My wife was one of the strongest human beings that I've ever met in my entire life. I could go into it, but I'm not. She was just strong. Very strong. But this too shall pass. It is passing. I'm getting over it. I'm meeting new people, making new friends. I'm creating a new life, one that I never thought I'd have to create. But guess what? I'm strong. And I'm not going to lay down and die. I'm not going to quit. I've got family that needs me. I need myself. God has done so much good for me that I owe Him. God doesn't deserve me to lay down and quit. He deserves me to keep going and stay strong and stay happy. And I feel like I've got a calling to help other people, to talk to other people, to let people like you know that this too shall pass, and that you're going to be okay. You're going to be better than okay. You're going to thrive. I pray for each and every one of you every day. I love y'all. Y'all have a great Sunday. If you want to book a session with me, all you got to do is message me. If there's anything that I can do for you, if I can pray for you, you let me know. Y'all take care.